As the most famous male model in New York, many wealthy women are willing to pay a high price just to have dinner with Evan. He always accepts the invitation with a smile, but he never stays overnight. At a villa party, female CEO Olivia took a fancy to him at first sight. She ignored the outside world's criticism and insisted on being with him. Facing Olivia's active pursuit, he finally could not resist and chose to accept. From then on, he decided to quit modeling and focus on being her exclusive model. By chance, Evan discovered that he was just someone's substitute. 5 years of deep affection ended up being the laughingstock of others. He decided to stop working for Olivia. Out of desperation, he recalled the painful experiences of being tortured by rich women. He called his former boss, Lily. "Hang up my name tag. I agree to come back to work. I've been secretly dating the rich lady for 5 years. I went to the VIP room with a pair of custom-made rings and was overjoyed to find her, but I overheard her talking to her best friend. Olivia, why are you still with that male model? You're not actually falling for him, are you?" Olivia spoke casually, as if it were nothing. "He's just a temporary playboy. I'm just using him to get Liam back. When I marry Liam, I'll reject him in front of everyone. That way, it'll be completely over, so he won't keep pestering me." Her best friend listened and praised her for her cleverness. "I was outside the door. It felt like I'd fallen into an ice cellar. The love I'd always thought I felt was just a means for her to provoke another man." The conversation in the VIP room continued. "However, Olivia, when all those rich ladies were hanging around Evan, didn't you say straight out that he was your future husband? If this gets out, won't that be embarrassing, HMPH, for people like us? What we say casually is just that. I said before that when he became the hottest male model in New York, I would tell everyone that he was my Olivia's boyfriend. You see, have I done it?" My best friend applauded. "Our Olivia did the right thing. That Evan has rejected the advances of so many wealthy women. His business is getting worse every day. How can he be considered the most famous? Besides, being able to fall in love with you is already a blessing he has accumulated in his past life." Olivia was quite happy to hear this, and she gave her best friend a VIP card, telling her to use it tonight. Her best friend said happily, "Thank you, Olivia." Her best friend opened the door happily. In her haste, she accidentally bumped into my arms. She frowned. She was about to say something when her eyes fell on my face. A flash of surprise crossed her eyes. "Oops. Who is this handsome guy? I don't know him." The man's hand slid across my chin. The strong perfume made me feel uncomfortable. I couldn't help but cough loudly. Olivia heard the sound and came over. When she saw it was me, she immediately told her friend to stop. "This is my man. When you're not drinking, are you not thinking clearly?" "I'm sorry, Olivia. The lighting was so bad just now. I didn't see your boyfriend's face clearly." "Go away." My best friend walked away a little embarrassed. I felt something in my trouser pocket. I frowned uncomfortably. I looked down. I didn't expect Olivia to be quicker than me. She reached straight in and took it out. It turned out to be the business card my best friend had secretly slipped to me. Olivia muttered something under her breath. She tried to catch up. I quickly took her hand. I whispered reassuringly, "Don't be angry, I promise you. No matter what, I will never go with someone else." I assured her, "As long as she continues to love me, I will always be by her side." "You don't love me, Olivia." Olivia's face eased a little. She threw the business card into the nearby trash can and took my hand and walked towards the box. "Stay away from my best friend. No, stay away from all women. Olivia, this is my job. If you are unwilling to accept it, then I have no choice but to resign. You have no education or background. Where can you go?" Olivia finished speaking and quickly added, "I'm not belittling you, but I know." These are her true thoughts. On the one hand, she was glad that my life could only go this far and can be summoned at any time. On the other hand, she looked down on my background and passed. "I can go to your company. Do whatever you want." I once again said the long-awaited words, "Goodbye." Olivia gave a slight smile. As usual, it did not respond to my expectations. "Our company even requires a degree for a janitor. How did you get in? Besides, I can't bear to let you do manual labor. You work hard here, and become the sales champion as soon as possible. That way I can announce it to the world. Otherwise I'll lose face. She never wanted me to get into trouble, but she held me to that standard. It had been like that for 5 years. I suddenly felt very tired. Olivia, are you really going to marry me? She had just been so confident in front of her best friend. Now she was a little hesitant. I promised I would marry you. Are you doubting my resolve? She skillfully changed the subject. What present have you got for me today? We've been together for 5 years. No more flowers. I made up an excuse. The flowers haven't arrived yet. Olivia suddenly felt dizzy. Then go and get me a margarita from reception. I was looking for an opportunity to catch my breath. Without thinking, I stood up. But when I got the drink, I realized that the ring I had hidden in my sleeve was gone. I returned to the box with a heavy heart. I found the ring box thrown in the trash can in the corner. Then I looked at Olivia's hand. She was still wearing only the single tail ring. At this moment, more than heartache, I felt more numbness. Olivia acted as if nothing had happened. After finishing the drink, she tugged on my tie and tried to kiss me. This time, I turned my head to avoid it. A flash of disappointment crossed Olivia's face, but quickly she mischievously picked up the spirits on the table and slowly poured it into my mouth. I tried to break free at first, but Olivia deliberately pressed her leg against me to keep me still. Ugh, cough. The cold alcohol splashed all over me. Now you'll behave. Olivia pressed me down with arrogance. She expertly tore open my clothes. She noticed that I was crying. Her movements paused for a moment. Then they became even more decisive. She sneered. Men's tears only make me more excited. She eagerly tore off the last of my clothes. I turned pale. Helplessly, I covered myself with my hands. Olivia unceremoniously used her manicured hands to stab my skin. She forcibly broke my hands apart. Then, she grabbed my chin firmly and said coldly, "It's not the first time. Stop pretending to be innocent. But if you want to play role play, I can cooperate." Olivia was about to act when her phone rang. The ringtone was a song. The singer of that song was Liam. Olivia's eyes lit up. She seemed even more excited than before. She immediately left me, who was half-dressed. She simply tidied her hair. Then she grabbed the phone and quickly walked out the door. "Are you back in the country already?" "That was fast. It's nothing important. I'll come and pick you up. Just wait where you are. Don't get separated again." Olivia walked quickly. She didn't even bother to close the door. My head was spinning. I struggled to get dressed. Some colleagues passed by outside the door. They stopped. They called out to someone to come and look. Then there were a few mocking laughs. Then the sound of a phone taking a photo. "Don't do this." "Don't what?" "Before, I thought you were arrogant. I never thought you were someone who'd been dumped by a woman." They watched me get dressed. Then they came back to stop me. They let out all the jealousy and resentment they'd felt towards me, just when I was about to give up hope. The woman spoke coldly, "Stop it all." But she wasn't Olivia. Maybe she was just a female CEO who was attracted to my appearance. I suddenly lost my strength. I fainted. When I woke up, I found myself in my hotel room. The woman had helped me. She had done nothing else. She had already left. She had left 10,000 yuan and some hangover medicine. I raised my weak hand. It took a lot of effort to unscrew the bottle cap. I was about to swallow the medicine when the bodyguard in sunglasses stepped aside. Olivia stormed in. When she saw the 10,000 in cash, her face showed disbelief. Then his anger increased. Without waiting for me to finish, he slapped me hard in the face. He yelled, "Evan, how dare you be with another woman?" My face was thrown to the side. It hurt like hell. Tears fell uncontrollably. I didn't. What? You've learned to lie to me now. Otherwise, why would that woman send me a message to pick you up? Do you think I'm your chauffeur? Evan, why are you treating me like this? Olivia grabbed me firmly by the collar. She kept shaking me. Angrily, she asked, "How could you do something to hurt me?" I really couldn't hold back anymore. I retorted, "Haven't you ever done anything to hurt me?" Olivia was taken aback by my sudden severity. Her eyes immediately filled with tears. "You're telling me off. You're so ungrateful. If it weren't for me supporting you, you would have been bullied by them long ago. Can't you be sensible? Are you only with me? Is the woman who saved you yesterday richer than me? You're so eager to be with her." "I didn't do it. This room is very clean." I just passed out last night. How could I have done anything out of the ordinary? Olivia didn't believe it. She immediately told the bodyguard to check the hotel's surveillance camera. The result was as expected. That woman only asked someone to send me in. She never went upstairs herself. Olivia froze for a moment. She saw my reddened side face. She immediately wanted to apologize to me, but noticing my indifferent reaction, her face sank again. I have wronged you, but that doesn't mean you can put on airs with me. I'm not wrong to say that. You've only known that girl for a day, and she's already helping you out. Doesn't that mean she has a crush on you, Olivia? He's just being kind. Don't think too much about it. Oh, she's already defending him. Has she even added him as a contact? Olivia sneers. She picks up my phone. It's unlocked with a fingerprint. She searches for a while. Her face gradually turns ugly. How is it possible that there's nothing there? I took a deep breath. I looked at the somewhat embarrassed Olivia. Since you doubt me, let's just end it here. There was silence in the room. No one spoke again. Olivia's face slowly changed. She took out a wet wipe and gently wiped my reddened cheeks. I was too impulsive just now. Evan, stop saying those things. I apologize to you. Okay. I interrupted her directly. Olivia, do you still love me? Olivia paused. She wanted to make sure I was serious. Her brows furrowed. You're still drunk. Evan, you need to think this through. If you break up with me, it won't do you any good. That's it then. I smiled calmly at her. Okay, you're really something. Olivia threw the wet wipe in my face in anger. Then she quickly got up and left. The door closed. I finally couldn't hold back my tears. These 5 years of relationship, how can it be broken off like this? When I was young, I was an orphan because I wasn't strong enough. No one wanted to adopt me, and I was always bullied by other kids. When I grew up, I had to work as a male model to make a living, and Olivia was the only ray of light in my dark life. Unfortunately, this light was like the moon, high in the sky. It didn't just shine on me. Then the clouds covered the moon. My world was never bright again. After Olivia left, I had my bank card suspended. She also took all my tips. I used all my savings to order the rings. It was a gamble. I had no choice. I had to use the money that lady left me. I stayed in the hotel for 3 days. After my wounds healed a little, I went back to work. When I got back, I slowly realized that something was wrong. Not only did Olivia not stop the embarrassing photos of me drunk from spreading, she also let those female CEOs continue to bother me. They kept persuading me to drink. They also touched me. I wouldn't listen to them. They would then whip me with a leather whip soaked in alcohol. The pain was like fire. There was really no way. I had to go to the boss. I tendered my resignation. I thought, even if I have to wash dishes in the future, is better than being here. But the boss took out the contract and said, "Kid, you can't afford the penalty. I don't know which superior you've offended, but I know you're a kind person. Next, go to the backstage and help pour drinks. After this is over, reopen for business." This is the only consolation in despair. I'm especially grateful to the boss. I want to buy him a drink, but he waved me away. I didn't quite understand. It wasn't until I was carrying a tray of drinks and walked into a private room that I saw Olivia and Liam there. I finally realized that the boss had actually known everything from the beginning. It was too late for me to leave. Olivia clapped her hands. The bodyguard immediately blocked the door. Then she gave me a cold look and said, "You've been gone for a few days. How did you end up like this?" Coincidentally, Evan quickly got down on his knees to get Liam an ashtray. Liam leaned in intimately towards her. To sing, "I've quit smoking. Then you can't quit me." Olivia's eyes were full of tenderness, pulling Liam aside. She couldn't help kissing him. Halfway through the kiss, Olivia suddenly pointed at me, asking me to get them safety gear. I felt my face burn, but I thought I no longer had the right to say anything. I could only try to go unnoticed. I lowered my head and put the things down. I wanted to leave quickly, but the bodyguard took out handcuffs and handcuffed me to the chair next to me. I could only helplessly watch them become more and more unrestrained. "Olivia, during the years I was gone, you have become even more persuasive than before. Humph, it's all for your happiness. Don't leave me behind again this time." Okay, 3 whole hours had passed. Liam kept begging for mercy. Finally, Olivia finally stopped. Then she turned her head. In a commanding tone, she told me to go buy the emergency contraceptive. Just now, she had not taken precautions in order to have fun. I was unhandcuffed by the bodyguard. I quickly ran away on all fours. Liam saw someone accidentally fall to the ground. He couldn't help laughing. You really have an interesting dog. Since it's a dog, of course it has to walk on all fours. If I had known this would happen, I wouldn't have rushed back to show off. Olivia and Liam bantered with each other for a while. Then he sat in the main seat and looked at me with a hint of smugness as I was at a loss. He said, "It's too late to regret it now. You can't get away anymore." Evan said to me, "You apologize to me now, I'll let you off." I responded immediately, "I'm sorry. I was wrong, in fact. My dignity had long since been worn down to nothing by her." Olivia kept her mouth shut, not a word. His gaze kept fixed on my back. Until I turned the corner and was out of sight, I found an excuse to go to the bathroom and seized the opportunity to hide from the bodyguard's view and ran as hard as I could. Olivia soon realized something was wrong. She immediately told someone to lock the door. I looked at the approaching bodyguards. I thought about what Olivia might do to me. I became more and more desperate. "Stop right there." A commanding female voice suddenly rang out. A woman dressed in gorgeous clothes strode forward with long, slender legs. No one dared to stop her. She walked straight up to me. With a look of concern, she helped me up. I looked at her. I felt a little familiar. "You're Lily?" She nodded. "Yes, it's me. Don't worry, I'll take you away." She held out her hand to me. She shouted, "Evan." Olivia rushed to the scene, without even having time to cover the marks on her neck. "If you dare to go with her, you won't get away with it." I was so scared that I took a step back. The woman immediately blocked my way, staring coldly at Olivia. "Olivia, this is how you take care of my brother." Seeing the mole on her nape, I finally recognized who she was. There was a couple. The wife was unable to bear children. They decided to adopt a boy from an orphanage. Sophia was their eldest daughter. However, as her parents favored boys, there was always a distance between them. Her parents had their eyes on a strong and healthy boy. Sophia was unhappy about this. That night, she quietly left home. I was the one who found her unconscious. When she woke up, Sophia insisted that her parents adopt me, but in the end, she didn't even get to know my name before her family forcibly took her away. "Evan, I've been looking for you for a long time. I thought Olivia really meant well for you. A few years ago, she even promised me with all her heart that I could trust you with her. I never imagined that after I'd only been gone for a few years, she would treat you like this. Don't worry, Lily will protect you this time." My eyes welled up. I hugged her tightly. My voice was a little hoarse. "Thank you, sister." Olivia was clearly a little short of breath when she faced her. "Although you are his sister, but how can I be sure you will treat him well?" She replied, "My younger brother. I will protect him with my life. You don't need to worry." Sophia waved her hand casually. Her subordinate immediately brought the project book that Olivia had always wanted. She said indifferently, "The two companies will cooperate. I've agreed. Today, Evan must come with me." Olivia was a little anxious, but seeing the benefits, she nodded in agreement. Before Sophia took me away, she had someone delete all my embarrassing photos. She also warned that no one was allowed to mention me again. It wasn't until the warm breeze from the Rolls-Royce car hit me that I slowly came back to my senses. Sophia had a lot she wanted to say to me, but in the end, she just said, "I'm sorry," with a lot of apologies. I quickly responded, "It's okay. I never dreamed that I would meet you again." "That's great. After we go abroad, you can work or stay at home. When I have time, I'll take you everywhere." I nodded. I felt especially warm in my heart at this time. Olivia sent a message. "Evan, you go with Sophia for now. If she treats you badly, tell me immediately. I'll come and get you." This is the kind of time when she's still giving me empty promises. I wanted to block her directly, but there are still some things that need to be said face to face. I've said it before. We've broken up. I won't attend your wedding with Liam. Olivia was secretly pleased at first because I replied to her message immediately. But when he saw what I'd sent, he immediately lost his composure. Liam hurriedly said over the phone, "Olivia, don't be angry. Evan doesn't know any better. Let's not take it personally." "Liam, you're right. He's just a plaything to pass the time. Why do I care about him? Olivia had previously blocked my number. Then she thought about it. While Liam wasn't looking, she quietly unblocked me. Then she said to Liam, "Come on, Liam, let's continue discussing our wedding." Liam said helplessly, "But starting tomorrow, I'll be flying all over the country. I'm really sorry to stand the host up." "Ah, when will you be free then?" "I'm not sure yet. Why don't we get married first? After that you can come to the concert with me. I'll save you the best seats. After I'm done singing, we can go on a proper date." Olivia had been worried about work. In recent years, her only pastime had been visiting me at the male model agency. Now she heard that Liam could bring her such new experiences. Naturally, she didn't hesitate to say yes. For 3 months, Liam used his busy schedule as an excuse. He never took her out. Only when they went to get their marriage certificate, he was particularly active. Olivia was furious. Evan would never stand me up. "How could you do this to me? Honey, how can Evan compare to me? I have a proper job. Of course he has it easier than me as a male model," Olivia said angrily. "Otherwise we'll get a divorce." Liam sighed helplessly. He had no choice but to take her with him, on a private jet, although their seats were only 1 meter apart. The two of them didn't say a word the whole way. This was Olivia's first Cold War with someone. She didn't know quite what to do, just as she was at a loss. She suddenly thought of me in the past. No matter what she asked for, I always gave in to her. Olivia shook her head. For the past 3 months, Evan had never contacted her. He was obviously still angry. She didn't want to admit defeat so easily. When they arrived at the venue, Liam got out of the car first. He was in a hurry. He walked quickly. Olivia was left behind. She gritted her teeth. She tried to catch up with him, but she was stopped by security. "Hello, I'm Liam's wife. Sorry, miss, you need an invitation to get in here." Olivia dialed Liam's number, but he hung up straight away. In the past, if someone had upset her, she would have left immediately and come to me to vent. But now, no one pampered her like they used to. Olivia couldn't help but wonder, was it because she had been so willful lately that Liam had become less concerned about her? So, she sat quietly in the nearby Calf Square copyright and waited. Seeing that it was almost time, Olivia gathered her emotions and walked towards the backstage area. She grabbed Liam's manager. "Take me in. Hurry." The manager knew about Olivia and Liam's relationship, so he let her into the backstage area. But he immediately felt that this was not a good idea. The manager went to find Olivia, but could no longer find her. Olivia smiled as she walked to the door of Liam's dressing room and was about to knock when she suddenly heard a woman's voice. That's great. Liam, patron, can you raise the price this time?" "No problem. My money is your money. After you marry Olivia, get her assets as soon as possible. My company is in urgent need of a large sum of money. I'll give you your share then." "I'll give you an 8-figure share." Olivia was stunned for a moment. She couldn't believe what she had heard. When she came to her senses, he had already rushed in. "You two are a pair. Who let you in?" Liam took the moneylender's mother behind him to face Olivia's continuous attacks. He soon couldn't hold on any longer. With no choice, he could only force Olivia to the side. "Ah!" Olivia let out a short scream. Olivia's back of the head hit the corner of the table. Before she fainted, she glared at them fiercely. When she woke up again, she found herself tied to a hospital bed. Outside the door came Liam's low voice. "Hurry up and announce the failure of the operation. You will not be denied your reward." Olivia's vision went dark. Liam was so ruthless. She secretly rejoiced that she was allergic to anesthesia. She pushed the nearby instrument hard. "Help! Help!" The noise not only attracted Liam's attention, it also attracted the attention of her old classmate. The hospital director, after Olivia was successfully rescued, first gave Liam a slap, angrily said, "You've gone too far. Olivia, calm down for a second. Did you just have a nightmare? How could you do this? I was so good to you before, and you tried to harm me." Liam realized that things had been revealed. He quickly apologized in a low voice. "Olivia, I was just joking. How could I not love you? You always wanted to hang out with me." Olivia is now free. She is ready to go. She doesn't want to waste any more time. After the director brings the surveillance footage from the hospital, She immediately calls her team of top lawyers. She tells them, "This man is suspected of murder. He also caused the injury on the back of my head. Please make sure he gets the punishment he deserves. Oh, by the way, we need to prepare the divorce papers first. Not many people knew when Liam and I got married. It should be pretty simple to handle." Liam finally understood that Olivia was serious. He said in surprise, "Olivia, aren't you being a bit impulsive? You're making things up. You'll get what's coming to you." Liam shouted angrily. His voice was full of resentment. Olivia's bodyguards quickly arrived. They pinned him to the ground. Before Liam was dragged away, still shouted, "You deserve to be unloved. You will die alone in this life. Evan will never forgive you in this life. Stop it. Who told you to talk about him?" Olivia coughed angrily. She even coughed up blood. She subconsciously wanted to call me, but I found that I didn't even remember my phone number completely. At this moment, a sense of emptiness that she had never felt before suddenly welled up in her heart. Olivia suddenly became at a loss. She ignored the fact that her body was still not well. She left the hospital. She dragged her weak body to the male model gym in the blink of an eye. A group of handsome boys surrounded her. Someone asked, "Olivia's sister, where have you been lately?" "Right, since Evan left. Olivia's sister hasn't been coming around much. You guys don't know. Olivia's sister is now focusing on Liam the singer, and occasionally comes to see us, just to take a break." "Right." Olivia stared at their faces, each one digitally enhanced. Suddenly, an inexplicable anger welled up inside her. That night, something big happened in New York. Here's what happened. Olivia noticed a male model secretly wearing my couple's ring. She became anxious. She rushed over and snatched it from him. Then she forced him to tell her where the other ring was. He stuttered and said, "I sold it. I sold it." Olivia was furious. She hit the male model in the store and smashed things in the store. He angrily asked, "Why are you bullying Evan? Who told you to spread his photos everywhere? Go away, all of you." The boss stamped his feet in anger. "I worked hard on this. If you don't like the model, don't take it out on the bottle. You're so short-tempered. No wonder only a good-natured person like Evan can put up with you." Olivia suddenly stopped when she heard my name. "He is not as honest as he seems. The reason Evan can put up with my temper is because he loves me. Hurry up and give me his phone number." The boss refused. Olivia had to pay $2 million first. After he got my phone number, she was so happy she discovered that my number had been canceled. It was as if that last thread of connection had been severed without her knowing. Olivia cried inconspicuously, like a helpless child. She held the ring tightly in her hand as her last resort. With great difficulty, she managed to return to my rented room. The place was really small. It surprised Olivia. She had clearly given me a lot of money. How could she live in such a cramped place? Suddenly, she saw a photo on the bedside table. It was the first photo I took with her. Olivia gently held it. Tears kept falling on the photo. "I still have it. Does this mean I still think about her?" Olivia just took a step and slapped herself. Actually, it wasn't her fault. It was obvious that I was so disappointed. I didn't even pack anything. I just left her. The only thing Olivia felt grateful for was he knew where Sophia's company was, so he would have a chance to see me again. Just as he was thinking this, the door suddenly opened. Olivia's heart was suddenly filled with joy. She asked excitedly, "Evan, is that you?" "Evan, 3 months ago, I planned to thank Sophia properly. She had everything she needed. Instead, she felt she owed me something. She always wanted to give me the good things. The other day, I half-jokingly asked her, 'Why don't you just find me a sister-in-law? I'm really embarrassed to keep bothering her.' Sophia's face immediately turned dark. She didn't speak to me for the whole day. I realized that I had gone too far with the joke. I felt so much remorse. There was nothing I could do. I had to go back to China first. I went to my rented room to see if there was any decent gift I could bring to apologize. Now, as soon as I entered the door, I saw Olivia with her messy hair. It was like seeing a ghost. I wanted to leave immediately, but Olivia grabbed me, pushed me against the wall. Her eyes shone. She looked at me intently. Suddenly, tears flowed down my face. She asked, choking on her words, "Is it really you? You still can't let go of me. Is that it? So you came back for me?" I suddenly felt a toothache. "Olivia, We broke up, didn't we? You're still thinking about your ex. That's not a good sign, I said, surprised. You've already registered your marriage with someone else. Isn't that breaking up with me? I'm divorced from Liam. I'm sorry. I got married to him on impulse. Now I realize that I really love you. Unfortunately, I realized too late. I think Olivia might be a little bit of an actress. Olivia, you don't really like me. If you really like someone, you won't look down on them from the bottom of your heart, and you won't let them waste 5 years of their youth for nothing. What you like is just the feeling I give you. You're so rich. Why don't you find someone who's more willing to please you? I really have no interest in continuing. I pulled her hand away. Without looking back, I walked out the door. Olivia quickly came up behind me and put her arms around me. Her voice was full of pleading. Don't do this to me, please, your ring. I got it back for you, it won't get lost again. I saw the ring I had designed myself. I froze. Olivia thought my attitude had softened. She carefully tried to put the ring on my finger. I didn't give her any face. I pushed her away directly. The ring fell at my feet. I was about to kick this eyesore away. A slender hand picked up the tower. Such a good thing. Why throw it away? Sophia's clear voice sounded. The anger I had just felt because of Olivia immediately dissipated. Sister, why are you here? This place is so dirty. Let's get out of here quickly. Sophia gave me a small smile. She said, this is where you used to live. How could I possibly dislike it? Then, turning to Olivia, she asked in a calm tone, if you have time, why don't you go and keep your husband company? Olivia looked at us blankly. She didn't understand why we were getting so close. Sophia didn't wait for her to react. By the way, I happened to get another woman's ring the other day. Look, it looks like it's a pair with this one. Olivia, you're so excited. Are these all your things? Olivia answered excitedly at once. Of course they're mine. Give them back to me. Sophia looked at me with questioning eyes. I nodded in response. Sister, these are her things. We don't want them anymore. What a pity. That ring is so beautiful. But don't worry, Evan. My sister will buy you a better pair in the future. We sisters will wear them together. Sophia casually threw the 2 rings away. Olivia quickly caught them. She took my hand. We were about to leave. Olivia suddenly shouted, wait, aren't you her sister? I've never heard of siblings sharing rings. Olivia, don't worry about this. I'm not just Evan's sister, I'm also his boss. There are plenty of rings I can wear. Hearing this, Olivia's breathing became rapid. How could you? How could you? She saw that I had acquiesced. Her body could not help but tremble. Cold sweat broke out on her forehead. I simply continued the act with Sophia. Yes, I was lucky. Sophia had taken a liking to me. You are welcome to come to our wedding in the future. But don't worry. I won't be as heartless as you. I won't embarrass you at the wedding. The boomerang hit Olivia. She fell to her knees, powerless. I took Sophia's hand and walked out. As we left, I could hear Olivia's whispered confession. As soon as we were outside, I was about to let go of Sophia's hand. I'm sorry, sister. I don't have any improper thoughts about you. But Sophia grabbed me even tighter. She looked me in the eye. Are you afraid to? Or is it true that you don't? I was a little scared. Then, she gave me a soft kiss on the cheek. Her unique fragrance drifted into my nose. Not only did I not feel disgusted, I was a little reluctant to let go of that feeling. Of course, I was more in a daze. What's wrong, baby? You're so confused. I was a little incoherent. Sophia gently hugged me and whispered reassuringly, our relationship is quite complicated. Let's say it's friendship, but I don't think it's enough to call it family, and I don't feel quite willing to give up. Evan, will you stay with me? I will do my best to keep our relationship from becoming ordinary. Her eyes were very clear. Without thinking, I agreed to her request. Before I got into the car, I saw a figure standing in the window of the rented room, but I didn't care anymore. After that day, Olivia disappeared from my life. It wasn't until the day Sophia and I got married that she suddenly appeared. She was wearing a wedding dress with a black coat over her shoulders. She sat quietly in the corner. She stayed for less than a few minutes and then left. Apart from a few used napkins, there was nothing to prove that she had been there, so I didn't pay much attention. Later, I heard from her again. She said her company had gone bankrupt. After she left my wedding, she became addicted to a life of indulgence and stopped caring about anything. She went out with many men and ended up with a serious illness. As her life came to an end, she lay in the bed of the villa that was about to be used to pay off debts. She clutched a letter in her hand. On the paper it said, "The bride at that wedding should have been me." When I read it, I just smiled softly. In this world there is no medicine for regret. I held Sophia's hand tightly and looked at the ultrasound results happily with her.